Welcome dear learners of Standard 10. How are you all? Hopefully you all are doing great at home by the mercy of Almighty Allah. In our previous class, I had discussed with you about the nature of the different types of violence towards women. That means the concept of violence towards women and the nature of the violence to women. Today I am going to discuss the impact of violence towards women. Dear learners, you know the main hindrance for women's freedom and empowerment is the violence against women, and these type of violence are different in nature, and there are diverse types of violence towards women. Sometimes we see the sexual harassment, then the influential peoples of the villagers administers then judicial proceeding according to their own will. This is the fatwa. Then acid throwing, then trafficking of children and women. Different types of violence we see in different parts of our country. So today I will discuss the impact of violence towards women. Dear learners, the impact of violence towards women's life is very terrible and complex. Sometimes physical torture to women results the loss of bodily organ, and such violence add injuries to the physical and mental health of women. In many cases, women go to the extreme to commit suicide, and female victims of violence cannot lead a normal life. So, some of the legal aids of preventing violence towards women are. So today I will discuss some law or legal supports to prevent women violence towards women. Number 1, the Prevention of Oppression Towards Women and Children Act 2020, according to the amended of in 2003. This Prevention Act, identifying sexual harassment as punishable offense, has said that this act also said that if a man assault or try to make a physical attack on the female, a woman sexually makes any indecent gesture or showing the rough or the immoral attitude, he will get punishment of not exceeding 7 years and not less than 2 years, rigorous imprisonment, and also with the additional punishment of fine. Next, number 2, the Prevention of Acid Crime Act 2002. This act clearly identifies matters like punishment for killing any person through acid throwing, causing injury by throwing acid or trying to throw acid, or assisting of any of these crimes, and judicial proceedings and other related matters. The punishment will be 2 types. Follow the punishment for killing through acid. What will be the punishment? If a person kills another person by throwing acid, he will be punished with capital punishment or death sentence or lifetime rigorous imprisonment, and with additional capital fine of maximum 1 lakh taka. So this act or this punishment act is very strong and tough. Another one, the punishment for causing injury by acid. This act also said that if a person by throwing acid injures another person by which he loses either partly or wholly eyesight, hearing of his face become mutilated or change, the criminal will be punished with capital punishment of death sentence or lifetime rigorous imprisonment or additional fine of maximum taka 1 lakh. And another one, any of his body parts or organs or glands becomes non-functional, that means non-operational, or any parts of his body gets injured, then the offender will be punished with rigorous imprisonment of maximum 14 years but not less than 7 years, and fine of taka less than 50,000 maximum. Besides, acid throwing or attempt to acid throwing is also a punishable offense. Through this act, the government regulates the storage, transportation, carrying of acid, and the Acid Control Amended Act is passed by our National Parliament in 2010. Another types of punishment follow. the laws of the prevention of trafficking of women and children. According to the Prevention of Oppression Towards Women and Children Act 2000, if a person brings any woman or child inside Bangladesh or traffics to another country or sold or purchased with a motive of engaging her in any illegal or immoral act like prostitution, he will be given capital punishment or death sentence or lifetime rigorous imprisonment or rigorous imprisonment for not exceeding 20 years but not less than 10 years, and with fine as additional punishment. So besides that, this act also has provision regarding the kidnapping of women and children, taking ransom, death due to rape, sexual harassment, etc. Death to dowry also. So according to the law, Human Trafficking Prevention Act 2012, if a person convicted for human trafficking, it shall be considered punishable offence and will be given death sentence with capital punishment of fine taka 5 lakhs. So dear learners, all the acts are very important and tough law according to the Prevention Act of our Bangladesh Parliament. But proper implementation is needed to prevent this type of violence towards women. So prevention of violence against women, what we can do, or the society should come forward to prevent violence to women. To prevent violence towards women, the society must take the following steps, including us. What happened? They follow what we can do actually. Enhancing women empowerment. You know about the empowerment of women. Nowadays, alongside the men, these women are also carrying out many social responsibilities. With the social changes, the role of women has undergone changes in various fields. That means the women are carrying out many types of social responsibilities and they are working in different types of fields, and these changes the women's role, and this women role has facilitated women's empowerment and it has placed her on the seat of dignity. So women empowerment is much more needed to get the proper honor and dignity. So enhancing women empowerment programs through adopting activities to educate women, to give allowance to the widows and to function credit program for the women. Then enacting laws and its proper implementing in accordance with the nature and type of oppression and violence. So by observing the oppression and the nature of the violence, the laws must, proper implementation of the law must be needed. Providing education for both son and daughter of the family to lead a life with moral values. So there will be no differentiation, nobody or the parents will not make any type of differentiate both between the son and daughter. Creating mass awareness about women and women's rights and its associated laws. Expanding activities of the organizations associated with women rights. Giving exemplary punishment to the criminals of creating violence against women. That means if anyone get the punishment according to the existing law of our country, so no one will get the chance to do different types of violence towards the women. The proper implementation of the laws on violence against women, for example, there are different types of violence, that is proper implementation of laws is needed. The Prevention of Acid Crime Act, the Regulation of Acid Throwing Act, the Dowry Prevention Act, the Family Court Ordinance, the Early Marriage Prevention Ordinance, the Prevention of Terrorism Ordinances. So different types of implementation of laws on violence against women. Prevention of violence towards women by way of social pressure, by creating mass awareness through publishing the impact of violence against women. Positive results may be derived. And again, another effective tool is this respect is to present before the public the relevant laws in simple and the lucid language. So, dear learners, there are few other issues that should be given equal importance to prevent violence to women. So, in this respect, what we can do? Prevention of degradation of social values. Previously, you have learned about the social values, degradation of social values. Then, shunning bad culture, that means persistently avoid or ignore or reject the bad culture, that means mixture of bad culture is not needed. Then building respectful relationship between man and woman, it is very much important. If we show the respect towards each other, so no problem will be in our society. Providing education for a sound and sensible family, education is must for building our country. Exercising religious values and ideals, definitely religious motive will give you to do different to, that means religious values or ideals. If you earned yourself, you will not do different types of crimes. Proper evaluation of the status and role of women. So dear learners, this, if we take care these types of things that we have to do as a member of the society, we can prevent the violence against women. So thank you all. Stay safe and blessed at home.